everybody. I'm excited to have you guys here. Has anyone else been to a How Money Works class at all? Anything financial related? No? This is perfect. Oh, worked finance. Okay. Have you, but no class yet. All right? Okay. Oh, my dad's very good at this. First time. Silence your cell phones. I sound like a commercial. All right. Well, this is great. So we have some newbies, right, that haven't gone to a financial class of any sort. So obviously tonight we're going to talk about how money works. That's quite a broad topic, but we're going to really get down to how this is very good for your life. And this is another thing we say is why do the richer get richer, right? Why do the rich get richer, right? And they usually have someone teaching them, like a financial coach, right? To help them through it. So I'm going to teach you some rules in a moment here, but we're going to talk about the hope because not everybody knows what to do with these questions. So the first question, how can I save for a future when I have so much debt? And I want you to think about not just yourselves, but like if you're close to debt free or you are debt free, think of other people when I ask these questions and even jot their name down on the survey so I'll know who to talk to. All right, how much money is enough to retire? What if I got started late? That's a really big one for people. One of the greatest fears is running out of money, right? So people are concerned to live too long because they might run out of money. How depressing is that? Very depressing, right? So if I die prematurely, what becomes of my family? We'll talk about what needs to be in place in order to protect your family. And can I ever truly become financially secure? A lot of people see their family and their friends not really having a financial security in the future because most of the middle class don't have a financial coach. So they ask themselves, how in the world can I become financially secure? And you might have asked yourself that question. So you're in the right class tonight. Okay, so this is great news. If you're in any kind of debt, you can get out of debt. You can build a savings account and you can get on the path to financial independence. Does anyone want to be dependent on anything or anyone, or would they like to be independent, right? To be able to help people out, right? Independent, right? Okay, perfect. So we're going to go on to the next one. All right, so this one's always fun because we got some horse ladies in the room. Definitely right here up front. I know Debbie likes horses. I'm pretty sure a few others like horses. So what do you do with a horse when you want him or her to be in control and you're the one to control them? Any idea what you do? You take the reins, so you put it on first, right? And the bit, right? You put the bit in the mouth and they're like, okay, bridle that baby. Yeah, so they know, okay, now I do whatever you want. So that's what we got to do to our piggy bank, right? Okay, and if you don't have one, you know that that's the bank. Okay, so how many of us have thought, especially before the people that are in this business with me, have you thought when you get that check, who do we pay? We pay all sorts of things in our budget, right? We pay our house payment. We owe anything like a car, credit cards, and everybody else, internet, etc. So you got your budget list, right? And that's usually where we focus on the money going, and then whatever's left over is for us, right? Or movie money or hobby money, I don't know. Anyway, so this is a system that the rich have learned, and people that are working on getting wealthy, right, is to pay yourself first, okay? So that's kind of a crazy concept, but this is the reason. So you got to have an emergency account. So if you think about it, what do most people do when they have an emergency? What do? They look for the credit card, don't they? I have credit equity. See, and that word just makes us psychologically think that is so beautiful, credit equity. And it works for, and the banks and all those companies are like, oh, we want it to sound so good because we're going to keep them in debt forever. So no, we don't want that. So emergency account, you got the inner tube, so that's really nice to see. So minimum of 3 months of income for purchases within 0 to 2 years. Obviously 0 meaning it might come up anytime, right? So short-term account, minimum of 6 months of income saved, sometimes within the three to 5 years, okay? Has anyone ever had a wedding come up or some kind of vacation that you're planning for and you're usually saving money for that? Probably, yeah, hopefully. Or it ends up being on the credit card, so we don't want that. Okay, so stuff like that you want in the short-term account, okay? And then the third one, we're aware of this one, that's the wealth building account, okay? Enough money for you to retire in dignity, right? That's a good thing. Okay, so give me 1 second. So pay off debt. All right, does anyone like debt? No? Why do people have debt if we don't like it? Right, yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. And just for the fun of the class, I looked up when debt became popular. And it was in the 13th century. Can you believe 13th? Yeah, so we're all fast forward to today. It is really weird if you're at that group party and someone says, well, I owe nothing. You guys are weirdos, right? There, everybody, oh, we all have something, you know. Let's do a group plan or something to pay off debt. So here we go. I'm going to teach you how to pay off debt very quickly and efficiently, okay? So we're used to this situation. This is a typical family out there. Whether it's your family or someone you know, just think of it, right? Retail card 1, $220 a month. This is minimum payments. $353 on card 2. Car loan $551. Those are even more expensive these days. Credit card 1, $303. Mortgage $1,293. We all wish mortgages were $1,293, right? Especially in this area. Okay, so most people have no clue about that, right? We only know this exists. Okay, so what we're going to teach people. Have you, any of you heard of debt snowball, debt stacking? Yes? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so some haven't, and if you have, you know that someone you know has not, right? They have never heard of it. So, all right, so what we're going to do, the very first debt, okay, you can see right there, credit card 1, $220. So minimum, you're going to pay that. And then if you have anything extra, throw more at that. Get it gone, right? No more shopping, okay? All right, for things that aren't good. Okay, so you got that freed up $220, right? Okay, so what you're gonna do, we all know elementary math, right? You're gonna add the 353 to the 220, and you got 573, right? So you're stacking it. So now 573 is going to that credit card too. And if you think about it, is 573 going to pay off the interest a lot faster than 220 would? Yes, right? So you're actually working the system against the ones that got you into, well, we get ourselves into debt, but you know what I mean, that want you to stay in debt, and so on and so forth. So look at the very end, 2720, it's going 100% to their mortgage, you know? So what's probably, I mean, it could happen, right? Hey, you know, Joe, why? Well, let's do this, right? We'll do Debbie, because Debbie learned tonight. She learned, right? I know you're like retirement age, but let's just backtrack. Anyway, and you're paying you and Dan are paying $27.20 a month, and you know you're getting rid of this mortgage debt. And someone calls you after a few months and says, "This is just weird. I thought you're paying $12.93. We signed off on that. You know, this is really unique. $27.20. What is this?" You know, and it's a weird number too. And you say, well, I went to a How Money Works class. You know, I learned about debt stacking or debt snowballing, whatever one you want to use, same thing. And they're like, uh-oh, this is an educated person. And you're like, yes, and I'm going to tell all my friends too. Bye. So anyway, so this is lovely and all, but some people aren't motivated. We just don't get motivated unless we know how much we have to lose, okay? So watch this. All right, so without debt stacking, 24 years, yes, we're used to 30-year mortgages, but this is the thing. $212 worth of interest you'd have to pay if you just paid the minimums, okay? Craziness. Okay, so with that debt stacking, 9 years you'll be out of debt, 15 years of your life back, right? Debt-free, okay? Interest avoided, $130,000 in interest avoided. That used to be a house, so maybe some areas. Interest paid, $82,000 versus $212. Okay, same monthly payment. We're not asking for you to do $1 more, you know? So if you'd agree, without debt stacking, I mean, isn't it pretty sad over here, right? And you can have a little better retirement and life over there. So, all right, so think about who you want to have that role taught to and that concept. and we can actually do a financial needs analysis, plug all their debt in, and it will actually put them in order and debt stack it for them, customized to them. So if you think of a Joe or a Sue or something, write their name down. I will not say, I know you're in debt. I'll just say, hey, so-and-so referred us to you, or vice versa. All right. Okay, so this is one of the coolest rules ever. This is really where people have found out how to get wealthy and how to get out of the welcome to Walmart situation in the future, right? Okay, has anyone heard of this rule of 72? No, not completely. When did you hear about rule of 72? Years ago? Probably Dave Ramsey book? Oh, through us, of course. Okay, I was gonna say it's either Dave Ramsey or when he used to work with us. That could be it. All right, so how many people haven't heard of it? Probably a lot. Okay, so this is what this rule is. So, and has anyone heard of Benjamin Franklin? I love it. They're one of the most fun political ladies in the room. I look right at her, but we've all, yeah, we've all had to go to elementary. We've heard of him. And so he didn't create it, but he made it very popular. So surprisingly, we heard about him, but we did not even hear about the rule. Our teachers don't have a clue about this rule. Okay, so I'm going to give some money away tonight. Who wants $10,000? Woo, okay. Crystal, Julie, do you want 10,000 or you're like 100? No, we got it. You got to do the 10. Okay, I'm like, we're not splitting money up, right? I'll have to think a little more. Okay, all right. So let's see. First 10,000. I know Crystal did it, but we'll teach you the rule and then you'll do the other thing. Let's put it out there. Okay, so Crystal. So I'm gonna tell you, rule 72. You're gonna divide your rate of return into the number 72. So phone calculator, whatever, right? 72. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the bank, because most people save money at the bank, right? And you're gonna get a 3%. And you're gonna say, that sounds amazing. That's better than a lot of friends that get nothing at the bank, right? And so 3%, 3 into 72. Anyone I'm making it obvious on how long it takes to double there. 24 years. How many 24-year periods do we have in our life? 0. Oh, some people have 0, unfortunately, but not many. And you can clearly tell 48 years in the future, 40,000. Not going to retire in dignity at that point. That's why she's in this room. She's like, I want to learn more. All right. And the second 10,000. Julie. Yes. All right. So you're like, hey, you know what? I learned a little bit more, not to, Crystal and I are now friends. I heard about, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to talk to someone. They're going to get me into like bonds or something, right? And you get a bond fund. So 6% into 72, as you can see, it is going to double every, how many years, people? Every 12 years? I know. One day I figured out, oh my goodness, right here, across. So, all right. So quite a bit more doubling periods, right? But 160, are you going to retire off 160? That's why. It depends. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to have the rich relative or something. Moving in, right? Okay, so, and then it's welcome to Walmart. We don't call that retirement. We call that rehirement. So go on vacation for a little while. Your friends don't have a clue until they walk into Walmart and you're like, welcome. They're like, oh, I thought you were retired. All right, what happened? Okay, so obviously 12 is going to be phenomenal. And so what happens? Let's see, our last person, Debbie, goes to a How Money Works class. She learns about mutual funds, and she finds out, oh my goodness, a 12% exists. I found out about the rule. How soon is your money going to double? Every 6 years. Every 6. See how it goes? I get this thing working. Well, it looked like it worked. But you see every 6 years. Look at that compound, okay? And it's Einstein, I think it was Einstein, whoever said the compounding interest. Most powerful force in the universe. Oh man, that just makes me hair up, right? Because like, my goodness, 10,000, the same 10,000, 40,000, 160, but at 12%, $2.5 million. Same 10. Okay, yeah. So when you think about banks and you go in, they say free checking account. Okay, how do you guys make any money? I mean, I get little interest on car loans and all that, but how do you make any? They're not even giving you this usually, right? They're not even giving you the 40, okay? So they're taking the difference between what you could make on your money and the 40. And that's how they're really, they're big buildings. So, all right. And I want you to think of this. Who, if you know anybody that is not in this room, without you speaking to them about the Rule of 72, how are they going to find out about it? Probably not, right? I see some head like, nope, not going to find out about it. So now you're obligated. Yeah, if they do, if they know who he is. My mom gave me his book one day when I had already turned 18 and got into credit card debt. I didn't even have a clue about that stuff, but someone sold me on a card. She said, "Here's Dave Ramsey." That's the only way I know about it. But not everyone, not everyone has a mom that's handing them a book. We have someone with a hand up. Yeah, that's right. So, yes. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Yes. Yes, yes. So, yes. Right. Yeah. So for whoever is watching this, so what I had was a Best Buy credit card when I was 18. I wanted a stereo equipment, and the guy asked me how old I was, and I said 18. And they get some kind of credit there for selling people on credit cards. So he really lit up like, oh, 18-year-old credit card. And so in-store credit card, right? That was day one. And then all of a sudden it was like a JCPenney's and another one. I got like 3 credit cards in store. My mom's, it was your job. Okay, I know you didn't create. We have forgiven Debbie because she's retired from JCPenney. Anyway, so what I was dealing with was an 18% not rate of return. My brain wants to say that, but a 18% interest rate. Okay, and this is when I was 18. I'm 39 now. So, woo, right? And it's crazy. It's in the 29. So I mean, it's getting crazier, right? So you just don't want to pay interest. Okay. So we're going to go on to the next one. Okay, just a little has a big impact. Okay. So this is monthly contributions is what this is all about. So $20 is on this left side, $100 is on the right side, okay? So take a look at the difference. So this is just an $80 a month difference. Like what can you think of that you spend 80 bucks a month on, right? $2 a day, so that's 60. Subscriptions. Yes. Your cell, yeah. We'll probably need to keep the cell phone, but we could waste money on all sorts of things. Mandatory for the cell phone. Okay, yes. So you can see news like Come to How Money Works. All right. So just an $80 difference. So with the 20 and 40 years, it'd go from the $3,900 to $94,330, and just an extra $100. Oh my goodness, isn't this craziness? Like in a good way. 40, so 94, and then you got 471,650 for just 80 bucks, just 80, right? It's like craziness, right? Like, so if no one teaches you what difference the monthly contributions can make and the dollar amount, because you're like, should I put in more? Should I put in less? What do I need to put in? Our system will tell you to the dollar how much you need to put in for your goal. So anyways, isn't that amazing? Yes. And this is just a hypothetical 9%. The market has done way more than that. What has it done, my investment guru? S&P 13.3% over the last 15 years. Yes. Okay. So this is a cute little 9%. So just imagine. All right. Okay. You guys are probably excited about this. Like, yes, came to the right room. I know this sounds kind of boring, but obviously we know that when it comes to buying the right kind of life insurance, that word was like a turnoff to me. Like, I'm going to sell life insurance. So we'll show you why we get really fired up about selling life insurance. Well, I don't want to say selling, but helping people replace their policies for a better one. Okay, we got a crusade mission here. Okay, and what are we promised in life? Well, I don't want to say promised, but What happens in life that we just can't get out of? Yes, we all pass away from this life. Yes, right? Death and taxes, exactly. Yeah, that's a whole nother money thing we're going to talk about. So, all right. So you'd agree if we're making money and people rely on our money, that our money should be protected in case we die sooner than later, and they need to pay for the house and everything, right? Probably need protection. So, sell what is it? Sell yours. Oh, okay. All right. So, well, just think of other people too and write it on your questionnaire. All right. So, this is just to help us think a little bit because not everybody has life insurance, okay? And not everyone understands it. Okay. So, how much is your car worth? She's so cute. You have a car already, or do you know how much mommy or daddy's car is worth? A couple hundred? That's not. Yeah, what year? Do you want to get help from mommy? How much is your car worth, vehicle? Yeah, I guess hard to say. Well, ballpark, like 30,000. Okay. Do you insure the car? Your car? Yes, right? Why do you insure your car? Other than you have to have insurance. Right, exactly. Because you don't want to have to replace a $30,000 vehicle if something happens to it. And we can be defensive drivers and all that, but sometimes things happen. Okay, so you do insure it, so that's a yes to that question. How much is your house worth? Anybody know? Has anyone checked how much your house is worth? 600? Okay. Do you insure your house? Yes, right. And why do you do that? To protect your assets, right? Yes, okay. All right. How much is your life worth? How much do you provide income-wise? Just think about it. Just think about it. We won't ask everyone what they're making, okay? Oh, how cute. Are you mowing lawns this early? Lemonade stands. Maybe you're cooking, baking. I'll let you finish your cookie, and then you can tell me after what you're doing for work, because I don't know yet. All right. So, okay, can you not afford to insure your life? So, if you think about it, your income is probably a lot more than your house and your car. When it comes in, it's going to produce that, right? Because you're paying it off. So clearly, you got a house, you got a car, you were deemed, credit worthy to pay it back. And so, can you not afford to insure your life, right? Can you afford to insure your life? So, we're protecting everything else, and we need to start thinking about life insurance if we don't have any, okay? If you have it, that's great. Write down other people you don't know. What's its purpose? A lot of the time it is not sold as income protection, but that's exactly what it is. What should you buy? Inexpensive term life insurance, only the time you need it. Well, will help you save for retirement, okay? And who should buy it? Probably people that have responsibilities, obligations to family financially, right? Okay, so let's see here. All right, next one. Okay, so life insurance, all right? So this is called Index Universal Life Insurance. Has anyone heard of Universal? Not yet? Maybe? Some head nods. Okay. Oh, she's so cute. She's like, me too. I'm involved. Okay, so let's talk about it. So Universal Life Insurance. This family had life insurance. They were 35 ages. Okay, they had $250,000 in face amount. They were paying $251 a month for this. Cash value, which is why they bought this thing. At 65, they'd have $127,000. Okay. Well, first off, can anyone retire off $127,000? No. Okay. Right. So it's like, why did you buy this policy? But for $251, right? So most of the time they're like sold as a savings account, and sometimes insurance agents are not allowed to say investment because this is not an investment account, but they try to play with the words to get someone into these things that, hey, you're going to get life insurance and you're going to get the savings account, you'll get a little rate of return in there, and they think rate of return, okay, that's like the market, and if you didn't have a clue about what I just showed you, you might say, okay, that sounds good, right? 2 for 1. I can save some money, protect my family, one premium, sign me right up, and I'm moving on from life insurance. I'm paying for it. Okay, that's what we find people with. So what we're going to do is show you the other side, okay? So 250,000 John Mary, same 250, okay, with term insurance $88 a month, 88, not $251. So what we're going to do is invest the difference, okay? So if you think about 251 minus 88, it's $163 a month that we can invest, and we usually do a Roth IRA for these ones. So at just the 9%, which we have already covered, that's very conservative, it's $300,649. Okay, so what side do you think, as now that John and Mary know that side exists, that they would like to go with? Right side. We always put it on the right because it's a lot easier, but it makes more sense and it's a lot more bigger, larger numbers. I'm looking at the littlest, second to youngest, I think. No, third to youngest kid in the room. What side would you pick? That one or that one? The right side. Even a kid can figure it out, yeah? It's the right side. Okay, so another little thing about these policies, okay, that most people don't realize. So if you know anyone in these policies, got to think about it, okay? So what happens with these ones? Okay, they're sold the 2 for 1, but what happens is when we're going to send, it's funny, we have a John in the room, but we're going to send John off. He passes on Mary. What Mary does is she's grieving. She calls the insurance company, says, hey, I need the $250,000 and whatever is in our savings account, I also need that. My husband, John, has passed away. And the insurance agent says, sorry for your loss. The thing is that in the contract of these policies, you either get the cash value or you get your life insurance face amount. Cash value is always less, by the way, than the face amount. So they're going to send Mary a check for $250,000, and they are going to keep whatever is in their savings account. So if you were sold like you were going to get 2 things, in the end you find out you only get 1, what would you call that? A ripoff. Exactly. We've learned that word. Okay, so that's exactly what they have. So what we do is when we meet with people, we help them read their policies. We exploit what's happening in those policies, and they say, I want to throw this away. We call this trash value, actually, because people want to throw it in the trash. It's really funny. Okay, so there you go. That's why that exists. Okay. Oh, got questions? The blue side? Oh, well, yes. Okay, so, and the next slide's actually going to cover a little bit, but since you're not buying them together, you're buying them separately. You're having a life insurance, I'll just say they, okay, just think of you. They have the life insurance policy, and then they also have the investment, so they're 2 different products. So yeah. So if John died, Mary does get both. So, and yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she can keep it. Is that what you're saying? Because if she doesn't need it, and plus 303 is not enough to retire on, or excuse me, 300,000. So yes, we can definitely keep it in there. It's just that it's there, you know. So, oh, and also yes, and also it does go into her name, so because she'd be the beneficiary of John. So yes, she can keep it in there. We won't say sorry. Well, it'll be a Benny, like, you know, IRA. So great question. Thank you. I'll remember to say that next time, or maybe I'll just leave it up to someone to ask. And then if they don't ask it, then I will add it. All right, yeah, so never buy life insurance as an investment. I just covered why. You guys pretty much get that, yeah? Okay, so we believe savings should never be bundled with a life insurance policy. So compare what you can get with whole life insurance to term insurance and a separate investment account and make the decision that makes the most sense for you. All right, defer taxes. Okay, so this is another thing, and in the beginning of being this company, there's a traditional and there's a non-deductible and there's a deductible traditional IRA, and there's the Roth IRAs, right? So it's like, okay, why would I want traditional versus Roth? You know, what makes sense there? And basically, it has to do with how much income you're making and your tax bracket at the time. So, of why you'd want one or the other. Okay. So, if you're in a higher tax bracket right now and you make a lot of money, what you're going to want to do is have a traditional IRA. Okay. And then that's deductible. Okay. And then that's deferring taxes for you in the future. Fast forward 30 years or whatever the date is that you take the money out, you could be in a lower tax bracket. Now, I am not a CPA, I'm not a tax advisor, so that's not numbers I cover, but it's just something I'm letting you know. so you'll want to do that with a tax person. All right. And tax-free money does spend the best. So most of the time with us, with our clients, we usually suggest a Roth IRA, but it's case by case, but most of them are in Roth. So it's like, why Roth, right? Okay, Roth, it's tax-free growth. So you've already been taxed on your money. Usually it comes from work after tax dollars and you're putting it in. And so now Uncle Sam is happy with their tax dollars up front, and we're really happy because it's going to let our Roth IRA balance grow, and then we can take it out tax-free on a lump sum. Would you rather pay taxes on a little tiny amount or a big amount? Little tiny, right? I'm like, maybe my niece should come up here. She's so cute. She'll be like, little tiny. All right, exactly. This room is paying attention. All right. Okay, so are you guaranteeing a loss? Like, are you earning a guaranteed loss? Okay, so I find it kind of interesting that people say investments are risky, okay? But they aren't thinking about this, okay? So, and they put the money in the bank, right? When they don't do it in investments, okay? Because they think it's risky. Okay, so let's look at an interest rate of 1.5% at the bank, okay? You earn interest for the year. This is on a $10,000 deposit of $150. Yay. Probably not writing or calling your sister or your brother about that and saying, hey, invest here. Not going to happen. But there's no risk, you think. Okay, but you pay $33 in taxes on that interest at 22%. So now that's $33 out of the $150. Okay, so your real net earnings are $117, resulting balance in $10,017. Okay, right there. But the word is but it happens because we know about inflation. Okay, so let's just say it's 5%. Your buying power would be reduced to $9,635. Okay, now 10,000 minus 9,635. Are you making anything, or are you pretty much losing money with the bank? Losing money, yes. Okay, so a whole nother story, but yeah, we have accounts that are liquid. You can access them, and you can get the great rates of return in addition to an IRA. So that's another story. It's a great story. We will meet for that. All right, so invest in professional management, and we'll show you why. All right, so mutual funds. Has anyone heard of a mutual fund? Yes. Oh, my other niece, so cute. She's like, I'll raise my hand. Okay, individual investors. So professionally managed money. So it's basically an average of 150 companies in a mutual fund. So if 1 or 2, 3 go out, or their market, the stock goes down, you got a lot more, right? Like 27, something like that. As many, you have plenty to balance out, right? So posed risk. The market, yes. The thing is with mutual funds, they have money managers, and they always have experience, okay? And so they are watching these companies, and they are making decisions to make sure they protect your money, okay? So that sounds like a good thing, instead of you putting money into one stock and hoping it stays around. Like, how many people have heard of Sears or Circuit City or anything that's not here anymore, right? Hastings, yes. Kmart, oh my goodness, the list continues. And so you probably would want a mutual fund over than one stock, okay? All right, so 3 Ds of investing: discipline, diversification, dollar cost averaging. Obviously, anything that's gonna be worth it in the end is gonna take some discipline, right? You're gonna have to put some short-term things off for the long term. Diversification, just like I said, we'd want multiple companies, right? We'd want diversification. Dollar cost averaging. Has anyone heard of dollar cost averaging? Oh, she's so cute. She's like me. Not yet, but you will. All right. So investing in a certain fixed amount each month. So we'll talk about that. So dollar cost averaging. Okay, two different investors, both investing 100 a month. Okay, 100 a month in a rising market. So you got this one going up. Okay, and the person wants to time the market perfectly. They only want to invest when it's low and then sell someday. Like when it's high and they want to put money in. So the thing is that that's not consistent. That's not dollar cost averaging. Okay, investor B, they're investing 100 a month in a fluctuating market. Okay, who likes sales? Does anyone like sales? Yes, you love sales. Yeah, why do you like sales? Yeah, they sell things. Do they sell them for less money than last time? Because it's on sale. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, bargain shopping. So maybe it was $10 and now it's like 5, right? And you're like, I can get 2 this time for 10. Okay. So the market, when things are down, it's like it's on sale. Okay. And so you're putting in 100 a month for this one, right? They're putting 100, no matter up, down, right? And so there's going to be times when market's down, so their 100 is buying more shares than when it was up. So they just discipline and dollar cost averaging. Look what's going to happen for the big investor, no, the one who kept it in. All right, so we see investor A, 845.60. They just wanted to time the market. Does that look like a good situation compared to this one, investor B, 1259? What investor do you want to be? Yes, shares. Right. And I compare shares to houses because people understand real estate. So if you think about it, it's like how many shares you own. It's like how many houses you own. Okay. So look how many more right here. Shares accumulated 125 versus $42, or excuse me, 42 shares and 28. Right. So obviously, what investor would you rather be? B. Yes. Investor B. She's doing this. All right, so you can do it. You can be either at the beach or off the beach somewhere. Isn't that cute? On $1. That's your mom. Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. Okay. Oh man, wonderful. Okay, so that we're almost done. Okay, so the path to financial independence starts with understanding those few basic concepts, okay, and putting them to work for you and implementing them. Winning the financial war is the result of tiny little day-to-day battles. Okay, so if you put together a plan, a simple one, and follow it, you'll be amazed at the progress that you could make. Okay, and we'll help you with that. So use that questionnaire that we put out in front of you. And you can do financial needs analysis or anything you want, and we'll do it complimentary. So, all right, if you look at this, think about it, are the retired people you know living life on their terms? Did they retire successfully or, just enough to get by? So think about that. Did they have to work longer than they wanted to and put off retirement until it was too late to really enjoy the time, right? Do they wish they had started earlier with a financial game plan for their golden years? Have a few more golden years, right? Okay. And don't make that mistake. Get started now and take control of your future. Okay. So this right here is going to be the full book you can have complimentary. It's a download, and it's going to have a lot more than I covered today because I want to respect your guys' time. And so you can share with your family, and let's implement this so you can retire with dignity and everything else we talked about. So thank you for coming tonight, guys. Appreciate you.